Trans Radio UK.
Hello everyone here at Trans Radio UK. We have a very, very amazing interview today. We are with Shaira from Trans Activism UK. Hello.
Hello there. Nice to have me on. Thank you.
Hello, how are you? So tell me a bit about yourself and how Trans Activism UK came about.
So yeah, I'm Shaira Choudhury. I'm one of the co-founders at Trans Activism UK. I'm a trans woman. I'm of Bengali ethnicity and I'm a Muslim. So Trans Activism UK came about through Felix, who organised a protest against the government's failure to act on their promised reform of the Gender Recognition Act. After the leaks, of course, in the media on 4th of July 2020. So I met Felix through that protest, and I delivered a speech on the impact of British colonialism to an audience of about 1,000 to 2,000 people. And then after that, Felix went on to form an activism group, but it fell through due to personal differences. But after that, me and him remained collaborating, which then resulted in the organisation of the Downing Street protest in August 2021, where Laura and Amelia both came on board to help with the organisation. And then from following that, we've become an organisation, Trans Activism UK, and continue to do a lot of activism in the trans space.
And yes, it's amazing actually because we're going to get onto a protest which happened on 8th of January. It was the BBC protest outside of the Broadcasting House in London. Yeah. Of course, it's been over a month now, but how did the protest come about? And for people who didn't know, why was it needed?
Yeah, so I'll start with kind of why was it needed. The BBC, one of the biggest news outlets in the UK, kind of published a biased and kind of horrific article that stopped legally or short of saying all trans women are rapists. And really by their own admittance without solid evidence. So Trans Activism UK, upon seeing this, we start being spearheaded by Laura. We started writing an open letter. This open letter got over 20,000 signatures from people. And then we really received a less than adequate response from the BBC rebuting the open letter, kind of trying to emphasise that they used some trans women in the article, which kind of undoubtedly was just not great. And so we decided we need to bring the message to their door. So that's how the kind of the protest came about. And yeah, regarding that and that protest and that kind of article in itself. So that article in itself was, which undoubtedly causes kind of abuse and hate towards the minority group, and it's very damaging towards trans people as a whole.
Yes, I did see that. I was appalled when I heard about it. It was really disgusting. But with the protests, it's amazing to see so many supporters, and I sadly couldn't be there, but I saw the clips on Twitter after, and it's amazing how much support there is. Of course, there's people like the BBC who give hate, but do you see what I mean? It's just amazing.
Definitely when we were there, seeing everyone come out, especially when it was like heavily raining that day, seeing everyone come out and supporting each other, and kind of saying that we are here, we're loud, we're voices to be listened to, was breathtaking, and I can always kind of attest to that feeling whenever I'm around my community.
Yes, it's amazing to see. So, of course, we're leading on to the next question. Has Trans Activism UK got any more protests planned as of yet?
Against the BBC, none that we are doing currently. There will be smaller protests against them throughout the UK, but us as Trans Activism UK, we're planning a large protest against the Safe to Be Me conference. The government are planning. We haven't settled on a day of the conference. Our demonstration will be, but we hope to announce that soon if folks want to keep an eye on social media. This isn't just about the trans communities, the Safe to Be Me conference. It will also include, hopefully, will include a wide range of LGBT organisations and the community as a whole coming together to say, no, the government yourself aren't doing right by us, and you need to do better, and this is why you need to do better.
So of course you just mentioned social media for people who may not be following you. What is your handle and what social media can they catch you on?
So people can catch us on Twitter, our Facebook page, and Instagram. So our Twitter is Transactivism UK. Facebook page is Trans Activism UK, and our Instagram is @Trans Activism UK.
Perfect. So I've got a question as well. Of course, how can people like myself who's cisgendered, gay in the LGBT community, how can we be better allies? Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know much about the trans community, but then 3 years ago I joined Trans Radio UK, and as well as getting to radio present, I actually got to learn about an amazing community. So how can people like myself be a better ally?
I think be more vocal and not just when bad things happen. Kind of we need more allies to be vocal to kind of more regularly instead of whenever bad things happen or something or the most egregious example comes out. Um, Also, kind of meet with your MPs, talk to your MPs, show up to protests as well, be visible. Write to letters like the BBC to say that you don't support what they're doing to their treatment of the trans community, and also kind of hopefully hit home that the trans community's main focus isn't on the little tidbits that the BBC or the media likes to hang on, like correct pronouns, etc., like that, which is nice, but our main concern are kind of the painfully long waits of trans healthcare and GRA reforms and kind of because the GRA reform was showed a general public support of self-ID, non-binary identity legal recognitions, and kind of the dismantling of the GRC system. All of these are more important um, than the things that the media have kind of latched onto, and I think it would be useful if the Allies kind of spoke up and said, no, we need we need better trans healthcare, which is kind of at the forefront of all trans people's minds currently.
Yes, thank you. I've definitely kept the note of that, and I will try my best to do the things you said. It's nice to hear it from a trans person, a trans group. Do you get what I mean? It's like because there's one thing saying you're a good ally, but then it's another to actually listen to people in the community or groups. Which do you get what I mean? So thank
I totally
you.
understand what you mean.
I've kept that noted in my head, and I'll try my best to be more, as you said, or more vocal and call people out. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
So of course, there's been recent news, and it keeps coming out about the EHRC revolutions. So what are your thoughts on what's been revealed in general? Are there any parts of what's been leaked that Trans Activism UK have any agreement with at all?
Um, if I'm going to be honest, no, we don't have. We completely disagree with the EHRC and completely utterly condemn the EHRC after the kind of reports coming out. It's dehumanizing. It's very scary personally, and it's starting to erode the safety of, and it will erode the safety of marginalized groups. And I just think I think they completely lost it, really. And they really need to kind of go back to what they originally were, and that's an equalities office for equality, not just and stopping this continued attack on the trans community. And 100%, it does not help anyone. It not only does it affect the trans community, what has come out will affect cisgender people, lesbians, and things like that. It's just, to me, it's baffling.
Yes, yeah, because we're in, on Trans UK, we have a group chat, so where we can keep all in contact. When one of the members of Trans UK posted it, I was shocked. I was like, wow, is this a joke? But it's not. And as you said, they're meant to be like equality, but clearly not when we're reading all what's been happening and it keeps coming out more and more stuff, it's like, wow.
And the fact that they haven't learned from kind of any of the past things that happened, like the North Carolina implementing such a thing, and they pretty much which had like just a big impact on how kind of how everyone's daily life was handled in North Carolina. It is absolutely baffling, and honestly, I think Trans Activism UK will go alongside all the other LGBTQ plus communities that have called them out, and kind of ask Baroness Faulkner to resign, because there definitely needs to be just a reset of focus on what is human rights.
Yes. Well, thank you. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to play a song on air and then we're going to be back with more tunes. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
Trans Radio UK, here for the community, 24 hours a day.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are with Shaira from Trans Activism UK. So, do Trans Activism UK have any legal support that's been told whether any of the actions by EHRC or the proposal to ban trans people from single-sex spaces is legally allowed to happen by law?
So we ourselves don't have any kind of legal support, but there has been kind of been pushes and kind of been good work that's been done by the Good Law Project and Gender Intelligence and things like that, who have kind of have petitioned. I know they've petitioned the United Nations to kind of revoke the EHRC's status. However, I can say that legally they can't kind of put this into law. However, they can provide guidance, which does impact trans people. And though they can't do it legally, that impact will be great, because it pretty much says to transphobic organizations, your discrimination won't be will be backed by us, which is awful. It's an awful concept to think of.
Yes, it is terrible. Thank you for that. So have Trans Activism UK tried contacting the media to discuss this, and what has there been the response, as there appears to be a media blackout regarding this matter?
We haven't personally. I do think there's been talks within the trans community by kind of people who work for kind of transactional gender intelligence. I know Jane Fay has been talking to a few few media outlets about working about covering this topic. We haven't personally though, but a lot of us are in the loop of what's happening. But yeah, nothing that we've done so far.
Okay, and finally, does Trans Activism UK have any plans to respond through this through communication or via direct action at all?
Communication wise, we have nothing planned at the moment, but obviously this is one of the things that we are going to bring up during the not safe to be me protests that we will be planning going ahead. We obviously won't let the EHRC get away with this. If there is communications to be made, we'll be contacting who we can. But there's been a lot of great work happening so far outside of Trans Activism UK, and which is kind of looking forward to working with the LGBTQ plus community as a whole to find a way forward through all this awfulness that's going on currently.
Perfect, thank you. So before we go, once again, what is your social media which people can come to view your work and see if there's any protests happening with you guys?
Yep. So it's Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our Twitter is Trans Activism UK. Our Facebook is Trans Activism UK, and we also have an Instagram at Trans Activism UK. So if people want to catch us and any updates, they can find us on there.
Perfect. Thank you for your time, and thank you for this interview.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Trans Radio UK, here for the community, 24 hours a day.